Hello and welcome to my review of Tootsie, the 1982 classic comedy that was nominated for Best Picture. But before I get into the review, I have to say a spoiler alert, so consider yourselves warned on all things spoilers for the movie Tootsie. Second thing is, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this review and want to see more reviews of classic movies like this one in the future. With that being said, let's get into it. So Tootsie came out in 1982, directed by Sydney Pollack, starring Dustin Hoffman and Jessica Lange as your two main characters. Also in this is Bill Murray, and you have Sydney Pollack, who is playing a small role as Dustin Hoffman's character's agent, because Dustin Hoffman's character is a actor who's not doing very well, and so talks to his agent a lot. Also, small role in this movie is Gina Davis. She's like back in the '80s. She was pretty big in all of these comedies. Like mostly known by me. Like I know her from Beetlejuice and A League of Their Own, which are really cool movies. First off, is this movie good? Of course, it's good. It got nominated for Best Picture at the next year's Oscars in 1983. So it's good, but it is really interesting to me to see something like this where it's a true comedy, and it's interesting to me that it's been so long. Like I can't even remember the last time we had an actual true comedy nominated for Best Picture. This might be the last one, and that was way back in 1982, which is crazy that we have like that they just don't get nominated anymore, because this movie is awesome. I like that it's very easy to watch. You could have a movie like this where it's hard to watch. There was that movie, The Danish Girl, with Eddie Redmayne, where it was like this, where the man dressed up as a woman, and that one was like it wasn't easy to watch like this one is, and I think this one is easy to watch because it is funny, because it has the comedy in it, and because you have awesome acting in this movie. Obviously, Jessica Lange won the Best Actress, and Dustin Hoffman does a really good job of playing not only Michael Dorsey, the man, and Dorothy Michaels, the lady, or his alter ego, I guess you would call it. But from top to bottom, even down to Bill Murray, I think everybody in this movie had it seemed like they had a fun time. They were all funny, and it was just a very fun movie to watch. So the premise of this movie is you have this character of Michael Dorsey, played by Dustin Hoffman, and he's an unemployed actor, and the movie says, and he says in the movie that he's been unemployed for 20 years, which is crazy to me, because he's one of these character actors, and I get that he's mostly on Broadway, but he wouldn't mind getting into television. But it's just kind of it's one of those things, like it's kind of like La La Land, where you have Emma Stone's character who can't really get a job being an actor, so she's doing something else. And he can't really get a job as an actor, so it makes it seem like he's teaching acting, and he kind of gives Sydney Pollack's character, his agent, a hard time for not getting him a job. But because he wants to he has to raise $8,000 to produce a play that Bill Murray's character of Jeff Wright is writing. He dresses up as a lady and gets a lady's part, because he's a really good actor and nobody will give him a part for a dude. But it's evident that he's a hard actor to work with. Sydney Pollack, as his agent, tells him that he's a little bit over the top with the whole acting, and that can be said for Dustin Hoffman himself. Like he's not a I mean, he is a character actor, but he's a super method actor, and like there have been stories where people are just telling him, "Hey, just try acting. Like you don't have to go out and actually do things, like try to become that yeah, you try to become that character on set, but not 24/7, you know what I'm saying?" And so this movie's premise of him, dressing up and then getting a lady's part and being that lady, and because he is a character actor in the movie, he becomes the lady. He goes like on a weekend with Jessica Lange's character, and Charles Durning's character. He like goes up to their farmhouse for the weekend and spends the whole time pretty much in drag. But it was a very cool story because the reasoning behind him doing it wasn't just some stupid reason like our dare or something. He needed money to fund his play, which is, he's going to be in, which is his passion, is acting. And so he acted to get himself money to go and act. It's like, if nobody's, hiring you for one position, try for a different position. And that's pretty much what he does in this movie. And I think that the premise and the story of this movie really works because you believe it, and you believe it because of the setup that he's been unemployed for 20 years and he's like, you know what, fine, I'll do whatever it takes to get a job so I can raise money to produce my friend's play. So let's talk about some performances. To me, Dustin Hoffman is obviously your leading man in this movie, so he has to be convincing not only as the dude Michael Dorsey he's playing, but also as Dorothy Michaels. Both characters he has to be convincing in, and you can get away with him messing or being awkward and things like that in the Dorothy Michaels character because this is a comedy, and so those are opportunities that you can do, and they never have times where there's a joke and it's like a stupid joke or like it's, oh, only women do this. They're all the jokes in this movie are very good because all the ones like that have to do with him not being good at being a woman and like walking in high heels, they're not overdone, and they're not done in such a way that they're too childish. It's a very good blend of that kind of comedy as far as his characters go. But also Jessica Lange as Julie in this, she's pretty good. I have no problems, with her getting the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. I thought she was good. I thought her character was pretty cool. I liked the character development from her just being like pretty much a tool that Dabney Coleman's character of Ron, like, he just uses her for his own amusement, and she's a tool until Dustin Hoffman's character of Dorothy Michaels, until she gets, there. She's a tool, but then she has that change where she starts to stand up for herself. So she breaks off the relationship with Ron. It's a very nice character development and a nice arc for that character, and I think that she did a very good job. The lady who plays Sandy, Terry, she's good. I felt like, to me, she was the one character I was like, I don't care about you. Like, I'm glad that we didn't get a lot of screen time with her. But like her and Dustin Hoffman's, their chemistry with each other was really good. So I totally, like, I was fine that she was there, but I was like, you're great there. I was glad that she didn't have a bigger role, if you catch my drift. But the character of Ron, man, that dude was a douche, a real douche. And I was glad that he got his comeuppance pretty much. Like, Julie left him, and I feel like the performances from all the surrounding cast, including Bill Murray, man. This was Bill Murray back in the 80s when he was really good, and I really enjoyed Bill Murray in this. He had some really funny bits. I thought, like, him walking in on Dorothy Michaels and Gordon Gayness, I think Guyness is his name, that guy. I feel like him walking in on them two was just so funny, and his expression on his face was amazing. You have to watch this movie, if not for, the awesome performances and just the overall good, like how good this movie is, but watch it for Bill Murray because he is really funny in this movie. And I just liked that everybody, pretty much everybody in the cast had a chance to be funny. And that's the one thing that I really enjoy about great comedies, is that everybody gets a chance to show, or everybody gets a chance to be funny in the movie. So for my verdict on this movie, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. To me, I think that this movie is really fun. I think that it works on pretty much every level that it tries to work on with the whole, women are equal thing. I think it works on that while not beating you over the head with that message. I think it works there. I think it works with all the performances in this movie. I think they're all really good for what they are supposed to be and the characters that they are. I think they all nailed it perfectly. Especially Bill Murray, Jessica Lange, and Dustin Hoffman obviously nailed it with two characters. That's something you don't see every day. Guy nailing it with two different characters. I think that it's a really fun movie, and so I'm gonna say Blu-ray for this movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I wouldn't mind watching it again. I think that this is a really fun movie. Like there are like Oscar type of movies, and there are older Oscar type of movies that aren't as fun to watch as something like this. But I think this is really fun to watch, and I want to go back and watch it because it's not a drag to get through, and it's not like a comedy that's just solely comedy. It has the heart, it has the good story. I feel like this is a movie that I would like to watch again and again, and so that's why my verdict is Blu-ray. Well, there you go. That's my review of Tootsie. But I want to know what you think about this movie or my review of the movie. So I need you to go into the comment section down below and tell me your thoughts. Come on, it ain't that hard to go down there and give me a comment on why you think that this movie is really awesome, or why you agree with me or disagree with me. I'm all cool with that. Let's just have a discussion in the comment section down below about this awesome movie. So do that, please. And don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this review and want to see more reviews of classic movies like this one every Tuesday. I put up a new classic review every Tuesday, a new current review every Friday, and trailer reactions whenever they happen to come out. So, yeah, hit the subscribe button if you want to get notified every time I put up a new video, and thank you for watching this one.